Okay. So thank you, Rainan and Ritvik, for coming on the CNPodcast. Ritvik, we had you a couple weeks ago, and now you got Rainan. So thank you guys for coming. So my first question, actually, I started this off even last time. I was talking to Ritvik about Color Media LLC, and now since we got Rainan here, Rain, you want to tell us a little bit about Color Media LLC and how it started?
Yeah, so Color Media LLC, I mean, that's the company I made. So I made in 10th grade, and we kind of specialize in photography, videography, and graphic design. Yeah, I mean, I've always had a passion for filmmaking, storytelling, so kind of made that into a business. And then recently, I watched your guys' last podcast and you talked about the creative, so that was our, last major project we released about a month ago, the short film. And then Rifik's been a huge help in like all of our projects. He's assisted. He made like a music video. He's assisted in the creative. He also is an actor and has assisted too. I guess it's a brief history of the company.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I saw your guys' your video, the creative. It was pretty good, you know. I even told Ruthik that last time. So that kind of leads me to my next question about what do you guys like? What, especially for Rain, and since you started this whole company, and you're kind of the main guy, what's the most important aspect you think of starting like your own company or business, especially when you're in high school?
Yeah, I mean, in high school, definitely it's like a harder time to kind of start a business without school going on. But I'd say having kind of a motivation to do it and have a business fueled by passion. So if you just have a business just to run a business and just for namesake, I don't think it's going to go anywhere, right? But if you're kind of passionate about a subject, like for me, it's filmmaking and photography, but for someone else, it could be, volunteering or helping others, or it could be just like selling goods that they made, whatever it may be. So if they're passionate, I think that's the best way to make business. And if you know, just speaking from a business standpoint, if you know people are demanding your product, I'd say go for it.
Yeah, for sure. And is that kind of how you and Ritvik kind of became, I guess, closely tied in this company? Because I know Ritvik is like he's pretty big into filmmaking or at least acting. I know that. So is that kind of how you guys met each other, or
Yeah,
how did that meet?
so we were like friends like before this whole like filmmaking thing, but I think like during quarantine when I was kind of writing the script of the film, I kind of need another actor, but none of my friends were didn't have much of like an interest in acting, so I reached out to Richard. I think I messaged him and said, "Yo, man, making a short film. I need an actor. Would you be down?" And I know like he loved acting, so I thought like this would be the perfect connection that he not only I think he has a chance to show his acting skills and make sure his passion is being showed up, but he's a great actor. I think I've seen the film, and then just my storytelling skills. So yeah, it's become a great connection.
Okay, okay. Ritvik, you want to say anything about that and
Yeah,
your
yeah.
acting
I mean,
experience?
like we had mutual friends when we first met. Like, some of my close friends were friends with Rain, and we met through just like regular high school stuff. Like, I think we met in robotics, and then like he would like update me about like the stuff he's doing, like color media and stuff, and he'd like let us know that he wants to do this, this, and this, or he has this booked or that booked, and I was always like really interested in the whole process. So it was great. Like when he was making the creative, he shot me a text, and I was like, "Yo, let's do it for sure," because it was like the perfect opportunity.
Okay, okay. And since you guys like recently started, is there like how have you guys kind of been advertising?
It's
Like
been a lot of Instagram for me. For me, it's always I just post on my Instagram. I post a lot of times on my Instagram, just make sure like because the main problem with Instagram is there's no incentive for the person to go and look at it. Where if it's on like another platform that's like an actual advertisement, the incentive is there because it's like you're forcing it into their eyes. Whereas on Instagram, they can just choose to ignore it. So that's kind of like how I've been doing it. Raynan's been doing some other things though.
I mean, yeah, I'm doing Instagram too. I think it's just like a great marketing platform.
Yeah.
I do want to expand to other platforms. I mean, I think I watched your last podcast about TikTok.
Yeah.
Huge. So maybe trying to innovate and make new content that be tailored towards that platform. Because I've seen, companies use that very effectively. It's been
Yeah.
super helpful. So that, and then I also promote on like our website, just kind of stuff like that. But yeah, as much as word as you can.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And also like are you guys Rainin, is your goal like to mainly just make short films like through creative, or do you want to like expand into other areas?
Yeah, definitely like expansions is a thing. Because I think just being as a creative, you shouldn't be stuck in the box. If someone sees me and sees a short film and sees like, okay, well, he makes short film that's good. But what else can you do? I want to challenge that status quo and say, okay, I can make advertisements, I can make sports videos. So that's what I've been doing recently. Recently, my friend Olit, shout out to Olit, but we made a basketball mixtape for him. And that's like one avenue of sports that I'm trying out right now. I'd love to go into advertising, and then I guess one major goal of mine to like make a full like feature length film. That's like way in the future, though, but definitely
Yeah.
expand the content and try to think of new ways to reinvent it.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. So how like what's your kind of like what's your guys' next step in this company, you and Rithvik?
Next step, I'd say. I mean, I have another project. I mean, with COVID, I don't know how fast it
Yeah,
is, but I have another major project plan. Details will be coming out soon, but I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure out the logistics of it. But it will most likely be another short film. I don't want to give too much away, but I think
yeah.
that's the next project. But I'm here and there. I'm doing some videos for other people, and then hopefully, I mean, I don't know about this, but maybe we can get another gig acting.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, Raynan's been doing bits with Color Media, and I'm really glad to have been able to support him. But as college has been starting for me, like my pressures have increased as well, like from schoolwork and in the house and stuff. So I'm kind of like weaning away from that as of now. But if the right thing comes up, I'll definitely jump back into it.
Okay, that sounds good. Mark, do you got any questions for these guys?
Not right now. I think you asked really good questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, 'cause I really
you're
wanted
good.
to
You've done
know.
your research. You know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
That's good.
Yeah, no, because I mean, I talked to like a couple of weeks ago, on the podcast to Rithik about it. So I really wanted to talk about, Color Media LLC, uh, from Randon also, because he's kind of the head, and so I just wanted to like kind of get to know how you guys started and like why you guys started it. And Randon, you said you like started this in 10th grade.
10th grade, yeah. There
Okay.
was a lot of ups and downs, but the 10th grade is when I officially started it. We had a whole like, different band that then I wasn't even making that much project. I think I was making projects for myself or just like photos or videos for myself. It wasn't really for others. But I think as time went on, I realized it just wasn't really like working. So kind of I changed up marketing techniques. I changed up how I advertise the company. I changed out content production, all that. So we went through a whole like rebrand phase. But
Okay.
since then, we've grown pretty well, I'd say. I'm really happy with the direction of the company's going right now. But yeah, since then,
Okay. And I got another question for you, Rand. So like I know that there's like a lot of other also people kind of like filmmakers that are around like your age. Like I know Nabil.
yeah,
Um,
Nabil's,
like have you like contacted like anybody else like Nabil?
yeah, yeah. Me and Nabil actually were like contacting pretty recently. We're thinking of we actually went filming for a project a couple weeks ago. But
Okay.
yeah, me and him, he makes great content. For
Yeah.
those the podcast, make sure you check out Nabil. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of creatives in the area, which I mean, like you got Nico, you got Brand, there's a lot of creatives,
Yeah.
um, and they make just great work. So yeah, just connecting with them, just seeing what two create, because I think in the whole field of filmmaking and photography and whatnot, it's always good to have like another set of eyes, because
Yeah.
you can take a picture, you can take a video.
Yeah.
This video I've ever seen, right? But the other person, well, it's okay. You can put X, Y, Z. Yeah.
What do you think kind of like sets Color Media LC kind of apart from kind of what Nabil does or Nico does or any of these other film creators around the area?
I mean, I think everyone has their own kind of like aspect and own unique value. I'd say mine is, I think, storytelling. I like to focus on storytelling a lot. So, for example, on the Lilith video we did last time,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of like sports videos, but I was wondering what I could do different.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him and said, "Hey, man, can you like do a short monologue? Because I haven't seen it before in any of the videos, and I think
Yeah.
incorporating his story, what his experiences are, what his connection to basketball is, those are
Mhm.
all. storytelling elements, and I think the viewers would also appreciate it too. But that's what I focus on mainly in any type of production, even the creative. I haven't seen a short film at least in this area. I haven't seen one. If someone
Yeah.
knows, but
Yeah.
that's not a storytelling example. But I think
Mhm.
that's what's the unique part of color media.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I have another question, which is kind of totally off this topic. And I know Ritvik is into this. So have you guys like been following YouTube and kind of the Nate Robinson versus Jake Paul fight? I really want to ask Ritvik because I know Ritvik is like big into this. So
Yeah,
I really wanted to ask him
I
this.
was shook. I was shook yesterday. Like on Instagram, I was going off. I was so shook. Yeah, obviously, I'm definitely big into boxing. Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. being scored a draw. That's a different story. That's
Yeah.
another upset. But um, yeah, the Nate Robinson versus Jake Paul fight. I mean, we knew it would happen. We knew he'd lose. It was pretty much a guarantee because Jake's been training longer, but we didn't think it would be that embarrassing. At
Yeah.
least that was my opinion because he got knocked down thrice
Yeah.
or twice or thrice, I don't remember, and
Yeah.
then knocked out cold
That's
in the
crazy.
second round as well. So I was like, man, I mean, it sets up the hype for the KSI fight,
Do you think
which is a
KSI
good
should be
thing.
scared or no?
I don't think he should be scared, but I think he should definitely take him seriously because
Yeah.
Jake Paul has that attitude where everyone just thinks he's a joke because of the crazy stuff he says.
Hmm.
But he's been training to the point where he can back up what he's saying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's still definitely way in over his head. Like he beat Nate. Like
Yeah.
all credit to Nate. Like he definitely put in the work, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
he's only been doing boxing for like 6 months, maybe
Yeah.
7 months.
Yeah.
And Jake called out Conor McGregor. He was
I
like
heard
at the
that.
fight, at the
Yeah.
post-fight conference, he called out Conor McGregor.
Yeah, that was
Like, come
crazy.
on,
That was
man.
very unexpected. I mean, well, not unexpected coming from Jake, but like still, like I was like, that's a bit. I feel like Jake's ego is really getting bigger and bigger every time he boxes people. But also like Nate, Nate is like from Seattle, right? And I saw actually this kind of brings me back to um filmmaking. I saw actually, I don't know if it was Nabil or someone who shot with Nate Robinson
yeah.
It
boxing.
was Nabil.
That
Nabil
Nabil.
was with Nate Robinson for part of his camp, and he made
Oh
some
wow.
of the
Okay.
media material. Yeah.
Okay. How do you think like Nabil or say even Nico or like Renan, like how do you guys kind of reach out to these big kind of celebrities and um athletes on creating content for them?
I mean, I'll let Raiden answer it right after me, but from what I see, it's all like a connections game because you just need to know who to contact because like the degrees of separation theory where it's like how far away you are from one person based on mutual contacts. If you really look at most by 3 degrees of separation, you'll probably find someone who can make a difference in what you're trying to do. So
Yeah.
I think that's what like I worked with obviously Rainin and I briefly worked with Nabil. I haven't worked directly with Nico, but I've seen his content and incorporated it into some like material. So like I think that's like the biggest thing is how the networking from all 3 of these guys, that how they've been able to connect the dots to kind of get that end goal.
Yeah, he's completely right. It's all about networking. And I kind of realized this the hard way. So in 10th grade, and kind of 11th grade, I was just very introverted in the whole company thing. I kind of just kept it to myself. Like I didn't really want people to know that, oh, I had a video company. That led to me not actively recruiting or actively looking for clientele. But I think over time, yeah, it's just about connections. For example, the Caleb video we posted a while back. So that was
Yeah.
initially I went to Ford Sports and some like sports training facilities saying, hey, I'd love to shoot for you guys. Went
Yeah.
to them, some of the players, like content. So from them, they're like, oh, can we get a personal video, personal photo shoot? Sure. And then their trainers or people they know, it just keeps going. So
Mhm.
it's just purely connection based. And with businesses, I know a huge thing is social media marketing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I feel word of mouth is extremely powerful. It's really
Yeah.
underrated when it comes to just building a clientele. The people will be like, oh, I love his video or I love his photo services. And you just
Mhm.
try it out. They'd be more inclined to try it out.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and I think passion for the craft shows when you do it. Like in any of these guys' video work, like you can tell how much they care, and that kind of propels them to bigger and bigger heights. Do any of you guys know Akshay Murthy?
I
He
don't think.
graduated STEM last year. Like he's in our grade,
Oh, okay.
Mark and Jay.
Oh,
But he did a lot of graphic design. Like that was his whole thing.
yeah.
And he got better and better at it. Like you can look at it on his like website and his LinkedIn and stuff. And he designed the new logo for Tesla STEM High School.
Oh,
And he
wow.
got noticed by a bunch of like famous people. I'm pretty sure like he made some work for like some actual like legit celebrities as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like it's kind of that just having that daily grind towards it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Nabil or Nico work, but I know how Raiden works, and I feel like it's reflected in the work.
Yeah.
Is that like that every day
Yeah.
putting it in.
You kind of just let the work speak for itself. But I think one thing is what you shouldn't be caught up in is just, oh, I want to, if I get to shoot with this celebrity,
Yeah.
my company or corporate going to go things. I think it's good to treat again like all clients the same, like regardless if they're a celebrity or if it's
Yeah.
just a friend. I feel
Yeah.
like treating them with the way you want to be treated on. Okay, it's a valuable client. You don't want to push them off saying, "Oh, I mean, you're not famous, so
Yeah.
why would I film for you?" Right?
Yeah.
Like firstly, if you go to a celebrity, you're like, "Oh my god, it's like crazy! Oh my god, I'm filming for you, whatever." I mean,
Mhm.
that's like, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that's a really good point about, just sticking to the craft and kind of, in a way trusting the process, instead of just like thinking about the end goal and who you want to work with. Um, which kind of brings me to my next question, which is on kind of the whole idea of TikTok and other social media platforms. Like I talked to Ritvik a bit about this last time. I kind of wanted to hear your inputs on this, Randon, because I know you guys do like a lot of short films and like the creative. So do you guys think that that could ever kind of be incorporated into TikTok's algorithm?
I mean, it is definitely a stretch. I think for longer projects it might be hard. I think at most you can put like a trailer. But I think you made a great point about TikTok. I'm thinking of expanding that platform, like putting, small 1 minute videos. I mean, it might not get, full like viewer attention, but at least having that marketing channel there is better than nothing. And it's really easy. Or yeah, I'd say like it's fairly easy and common to get viral. So if someone sees like a video and say it blows up, right? you
Mm-hmm.
know, I'll get that marketing aspect. But for longer film, like a feature film or a short film, it might be a bit difficult. But that in itself presents an opportunity. How can I reinvent that and then market it on TikTok where no one else is,
Yeah,
marketing?
yeah, for sure. Um, Mark, do you got any questions for them?
I don't know. I think you asked really good
I
questions.
know. I've been
Yeah,
asking a lot
that's
of
I mean,
questions.
Mark is a TikTok pro, so like
Mark is.
he's the king. I
Yeah.
mean, what Opulus is 15,000 still, or is it grown?
It's still at 15,000.
That's still a lot, dude.
A lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mark,
Yeah,
how did you get there? Because maybe you could help. Like,
I think that if you're really serious about growing on TikTok, you have to be like posting multiple times a day because once, for example, like once Charlie started getting like followers, she began posting like tons, like at least 3 times a day.
mhm.
And a big part, I think, is like experimenting with different content because for like 5 months, I was just posting like me solving SAT math problems, and I only gained like 1,000 followers. But then like I decided to post like a formula video, and it got like 500,000 followers. No, not followers, views.
Okay.
And I got like several thousand followers. And after that, I just started posting like different types of content, and then that's when I started growing.
Okay. Okay.
sick.
Yeah. What do you, Rainan and Ritvik, what do you guys think about kind of like content creators as, you see them on TikTok, like all these content houses? Like, what do you guys like? What's your opinion on them?
I have a pretty good, actually, like a take on this. I think so. At least in America, right? I'd say Jake Paul and Team 10 kind of paved the way for content houses as much as I hate giving it to him because he's super egotistical about it. FaZe definitely did it before them. They but
Yeah.
did the whole content house thing. And so did Sidemen in the Europe. But
Hmm.
the Jake Paul's Team 10, like the model of that he had with, having like 10 influencers and they just do whatever they flex for 15 minutes a day on a vlog channel.
Yeah.
Having that sort of having that sort of appeal in his vlog channel. I think Jake Paul revolutionized it.
Mhm.
And one thing that I think Jake may have done a mistake with is making it too business minded. Like
Mhm.
he actually like that.
We have
That's a lot of
this person, didn't he? Like, he made
they
like a
not even just the business course. That's the thing that a lot of people don't know. Like is like when Jake Paul first like emerged, he was like he already had jewelry, he already had Lamborghinis and stuff, and they're like, how is this kid from Ohio so rich?
Yeah.
That's investor money. Like he pitched to
Yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk, he pitched to a bunch of different like investors.
Mark Cuban, I think too.
Yeah, and Cuban turned him away,
Yeah,
obviously,
Cuban turned
because
away.
Cuban's quite sensible. But
Yeah.
um, he got all these millions of dollars and like just put it into the whole flexing lifestyle to sell it to kids. And I think in comparison to what kind of a disaster Team 10 was, I actually greatly prefer the content houses that the TikTok people are doing. There's definitely too many, I feel like, at this
Yeah.
point, because there's and they're good. It's easy to build hype on TikTok. Is if you try to make
Yeah.
yourself secretive
Yeah.
and post stuff, they're like, oh, people just naturally get interested. Like, oh, who are these people? Wow, now we need to develop an interest in them and follow their house account and stuff, and that just gets them more and more cash as they reel it in.
Yeah.
But I think the content house model is the best way for a group of creators to grow.
Mhm.
It's a thing that's a lot of it's a thing that's an unpopular idea mainly because of Team 10. People are like, oh,
Yeah.
now everyone's moving into a house together. Look at what you guys are doing. You're just trying to be Team 10.
Yeah.
But it's the best way for content creators to grow. Like the Sidemen have talked about it.
Yeah.
They all got together and it was like called like the factory. Like they would push each other to make more content and innovate more and like do more and they could collab and everything.
Mhm.
That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, for sure. Brandon, how about you? What do you think?
I mean, to be completely honest, I don't really get it. I don't get what.
Yeah.
I'm then again, I haven't really been like in a content creator group, so I wouldn't know. But I've seen how like popular. Was it called like the high? I don't know what it's called, but it's like
Yeah.
all the like, houses or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't. My first thing that comes to my mind is like COVID. Like,
Yeah.
in like all these houses, like all these like,
Mhm.
people. I mean, we're in the pandemic, but yeah, I mean, I guess Rich has a fair point about like it seems like if you are in a content creation house and if there's like three like huge influencers and like maybe like
Yeah.
5 or 7 like less people, then I mean they kind of combine together and then they can
Yeah.
you know be I guess more popular. But yeah, I mean personally I never got it, and
Yeah.
the COVID aspect I still don't. Get it.
Yeah, for sure. Because yeah, I see all these, big TikTokers or like influencers or whatever, like having parties and stuff. And I'm pretty sure in California, what didn't the government? No, sorry, not the government. The governor get caught for like hosting a party.
Yeah, yeah, I
I'm
saw
pretty
that.
sure he did.
The California governor.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
California
yeah, yeah.
governor.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
got.
hear about this. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, he did. He did because he hosted like a party for like I think it was like 20 families or something, all like without masks and like he just hosted and he got like
Oh
in big
no.
trouble for it. And then when he talked about it like on the press, he was like laughing about it. And then he's the same one who made the strict rules in California about
I mean,
quarantine.
it's like the typical politician thing, right? They're just gonna
Yeah,
do what serves them right,
yeah,
and it's really anyone in power. Like when it comes to Jake Paul, I don't know if the impulsive clip has been circling around on social media, but
yeah.
Jake admitted that he voted for Trump, even though if you guys remember in
Really?
like March, April, he was doing all the Black Lives Matter stuff. That was
Yeah,
his justification for getting caught, like in the
yeah,
looting area.
yeah.
He
The
was like,
looting
"Oh,
area.
it's because I'm trying to promote Black Lives Matter and everything."
Yeah,
And beyond the ideology of the organization itself, right? Trump does not like the Black Lives Matter organization.
yeah,
So if you support one, you literally cannot support the other. Like it's not even about racism at that point. Like
yeah,
you're conflicting beliefs there.
yeah. And he got caught for looting. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right about the fact that on like impulsive that he admitted to voting for Trump.
Yeah. Because I mean, he did the typical like powerful person thing where he just served his own self interest. That's what that was pretty much.
Yeah. I feel like Logan has kind of matured and Jake has just gone more and more crazy by the day. Like like he's been boxing and in training camps and stuff. And I don't know, maybe it's because he's getting hit in the head a lot or something. But he's just saying some random stuff.
People like things people do for like social influence, right?
Yeah.
I remember like I don't know if it's like the Lil Pump. like Trump thing, like he was spreading it. Then Lil Wayne had like a picture with Trump too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I get what's like any publicity is good publicity. I guess. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
any way to stir up a convo.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing now. If anything causes controversy or anything, like why are you doing that? People are gonna
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Um, so I got another question for you, Ren. So with the whole with color media, I'll see like what's kind of your I already asked you like what's your next step, but like how about like when you go to college and stuff, do you think you're gonna still continue to grow your company more and more? Or how's that kind of transition gonna work?
Yeah. I mean, for me at least, my ideal choice would be kind of just staying here, just because I built a clientele base.
Hmm.
As well as Nabil, he goes to UW too, so
Yeah.
having a content creator that I know who actively work with schools.
Yeah.
But again, there's a chance that I don't get in, there's a chance that I don't go at all. But if I mean, I'm still gonna continue the company for sure. It's just gonna be located in a different area, or there might be a future plan where Color Media goes to the point where I can have other freelancers. Say maybe like Rithvik become
Yeah.
pretty skilled at photography and filmmaking, etc. But he builds a client base. But he's located in Illinois because he goes there. And say I'm in Washington. So I
Hmm.
mean that could be another idea. But regardless of the outcome, Color Media is still going to be going, through college. I'm still going to
Yeah.
be. Yes, definitely going to be interesting to see how it adapts to if I'm me continue
Yeah.
to stay here.
Yeah, for sure. So like what is kind of like is it just you and Ritvik mainly a part of this company? Is there any other people who are also involved?
Yeah, I mean, my dad's like a huge influence.
That's what I was gonna say. Mainly, it's Brandon and his dad, and I'm just like I help when I can.
Yeah,
Oh,
my dad just like helps out. I mean, he takes on like bigger projects like music videos and stuff.
hmm.
Um, so I still like technically I guess found to manage all the business operations, but I mean, my dad's also beyond for a photographer. So I guess I just kind of carry down the skills as
Okay,
well.
okay.
Yeah, he
Nice.
for kind of creating the company.
Okay. And so Ritvik, like what exactly are you just more of a you kind of just help out on the acting side or any way you can whenever you have
I
time?
mean, mainly, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like whenever he has something that needs doing where I can help, I'm down most of the time because uh Brandon and his dad have been doing like the whole like photo video thing for years now. Like he
Mhm.
like that's their thing, and
Yeah.
it's really been a privilege for me to like work with them and learn kind of how the not just acting but also how the behind the scenes works, like how
Mhm.
production works,
Yeah.
camera techniques here and there. I can confidently say that I've definitely become better, somewhat better at photography after meeting Rainin and learning some of the things that you can do. So that's how I help around at Color Media. It's pretty much all him and his dad though, and I don't want to take any credit away from that. So
Nah,
it's really great.
I
Yeah,
mean, he's Rick is so much, and I mean, in the future, we don't know, what the future is for the company, but
yeah,
there's a point that it, grows, and maybe there's a point where oh man, there's like too many projects to handle,
Hmm.
right? Then I mean, then it makes sense to expand and maybe get other people. You have to kind of look into legalities and whatnot, but
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
something I'm kind of looking forward to doing in the future, just kind of building a production team
Yeah.
uh, which then in larger projects, say like a feature film or even like a longer
yeah,
film,
Yeah.
at least my experience when I was filming the creative, it was pretty difficult. Just uh, it was like a one man show, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of scenes I just had to set up the camera, and then like gauge where I would be in the scene, make sure the audio is working. And after that's all done, like there's
Yeah.
multiple takes, you have to edit it. So making a whole
Yeah.
production team, I think, is my goal at least.
Hmm.
This doesn't have to be like Color Media LC,
Yeah.
but just a production team of like-minded creatives, kind of willing to help on the project.
Okay. Mark, you got any questions for them?
I don't know. You keep asking good questions. I don't know.
I know. I know. I just keep. I don't
Or
know.
I feel like you have some good questions too. I feel like you have some good,
Hmm?
I feel like you have good questions to ask you.
Yeah. Come on, Mark.
All right, just give me a couple minutes. I'll come up with something.
yeah, for sure, bro. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I got like a kind of like a final question for you guys. What do you guys like? What's your advice on kind of starting your own company in whichever field? I guess for you guys, obviously, it's filmmaking. But what's your kind of advice to high school students and kind of just anybody.
I mean, Rainan's the one who actually started the company, so I'll let
Yeah.
him answer
Oh,
it. But
yes.
I've done like business work before, so I'll give my opinion after that.
Okay.
I mean, I guess my advice is that there's a lot of advice to say, but I mean, personally, what kind of stuck with you is that there's going to be a lot of failures, right? You
Mhm.
kind of have to learn from that because if you don't, it kind of leaves it stagnating. Just from personal experience, it just doesn't work out. So I remember when I first started it and like made an Instagram page with Code Media, I just didn't actively do much for the page initially. And then with each failure, it is, I mean, as cliche as it is, but
Yeah.
there is an opportunity to grow each time. And making sure that you're doing the business for the right reasons, I think is another like advice to give. Just don't do it for having founder or CEO in your name.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people can see through it, but there's still people who do that, or just not for the wrong reason. Make sure you like what you're doing. I guess in a business side, make sure you're kind of unique from other people too. That's definitely going to set you apart from other people. And trying to figure out what your unique value is. I mean, I did DECA, and there's one of the written that says unique value proposition. I think that thing applies like so much to when you create a company. Having a unique value proposition in your
Mhm.
company, what can you do different that other firms don't do? So I'd say those are my like main pieces of advice. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've done a lot of like management things, whether that be with high school clubs or outside things and stuff. And obviously, you guys know that Top Gun Robotics I did a lot of. So,
Yeah.
um, which as an organization, it may just seem like a high school club, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So in terms of like managing that, the main thing that I learned is like surround yourself with the right people. Is like when you start a company, when it's your own initiative, you have a lot of control over who does what, who you want to associate with, and surrounding yourself with the right people is probably the most important thing because the wrong people may be like nice to you and everything, but they can be like distracting from your goal. Like if they don't take it seriously or something, then that's what that is. So you just want to make sure that when you're starting out, you have that like next step approach where you're thinking about what's next and having people that back that goal, having people that support that goal, and just people that you can talk to. It's one of the most neglected things in my opinion when anyone tries to start any ventures. They focus too much on the actual product itself and don't think about how they're going to achieve it and who they want to take along with them.
Definitely, I agree 100%. To find the right people, because that's same for persistence. I mean, before I met Rithvik and other people too, it's kind of hard because you're kind of alone. You kind of isolated with your ideas only. There's no one really to share it with, and
Yeah.
you don't have like ideas to bounce off another person. Or if you have people that you have someone you can talk to, but they're like toxic or like it's not a good environment, or it's just a negative influence to you.
Mhm.
I mean, you just have to kind of cut those people out and get people that help you achieve your goals and your vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even have to be like business partners. You don't have to bring them in. It's just people that like can support you when you need them. Like that's it. It's like friends, good friends. That's
Just
it.
good friends, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mark, you have a question or?
Yeah, I came up with a question.
Nice.
Wait, how did you come up with like the name Color Media? Like, how important do you think like the name of the business is for like the success of the business?
Hmm. That's a good question. I guess I'll do the second question for this, a little easier to digest. But I think a name is pretty important. Having a good brand identity, and making sure it's different and unique from everyone else's. I'd say it's a huge part because you need like a easy to recognize name. Like you say, oh, Color Media, right? Like you know what it is. If it's like a maybe it might be a hard pronouncing or just maybe like a name that wouldn't be as catchy. I feel like it might be harder for the other person to kind of remember. Color Media came from. I mean, to be honest, I watched videos, right, and they were just colorful, and I was like, well, I think that color has more aspects than just being colorful, but like it kind of shows like a representation of feeling, like that's what I'm saying, like how some colors can kind of convey different feelings, like red can feel like anger, or blue can be sadness or something like that. So kind of taking that aspect into color media and I guess a play on words like what the media we produce, maybe the colors or the scenes or the films or the videos we produce are kind of representative of stories and feelings that people experience. So that's how we came up with the name. I mean, originally the name was called. This is way back. It was called Rolling Shutter Media. I don't know why I chose that name. That was the original name for Rolling Media, but then we changed it. We didn't even have like a good logo or anything. But yeah.
Nice.
Is that your question, Mark?
Yeah, that was my question.
Good question.
That's a question. Really good
Yeah,
question.
that was a good question, man.
That was a good question.
Thank you.
Well, I think
Thank
that's
you.
that's kind of all questions I got, and I think Mark, you got your answer to your question. Yeah, yeah. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
coming on,
Yeah, it was. Thank you for having us
Thanks
on.
for
It was
inviting me.
great. It was great chatting. Yeah.
and yeah, good luck to you guys and your company.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good luck to you guys in your podcast as well.
I'm excited to see the podcast, bro. Like,
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
who knows? Maybe one day you'll be end up interviewing like a really famous celebrity.
Yeah,
Could
maybe,
be. Could be.
It happens.
could be. You know, Mark's got a lot of contacts, so
Yeah, it's TikTok. So,
yeah, man. Mark,
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna be in LA next summer
yeah, it's gonna be
Oh
at the
yeah.
iPad
Mark is
house.
starting the next content
Bro,
house. It's
fun.
did you
Mark
guys
J.
actually? I was actually like planning on getting like a consultant to
Wow.
my TikTok page. So because I actually want to take this thing really far.
yeah,
So I might want to get like a consultant to help me like find the direction I want to take the account
Like
because like right now,
management, you could cite, yeah, something like that, management or a talent agency or something.
yeah.
1,000 followers is quite a lot.
the Ritvik, you might
I'll
be.
give I'll if I become famous, I'll give Core Media a shout out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, sure.
That's sick. I mean, if you get like you become the next Charlie D'Amelio.
Mark,
Yeah.
you know,